Hey there, viewers. Thank you for tuning into Super Mario Diagnostics once again. This is part 2 of the AST event. Let's go ahead and get started with Paul Danner.
1, 2, testing. Hey, ScannerDanner here. Hey, ScannerDanner here. That good? You want more?
Oh, no, we're good.
Okay.
I'm just setting up the, all right. I had like some questions set up and whatnot. Let me see.
It's a fancy camera you have there, Mario.
You like that?
Yeah.
Mario. I like
Is that recording already?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So some B-roll. Maybe you include this.
Maybe.
I'm from Pittsburgh, and I've been saying this the whole time we're here. And so I'm a huge Mario Lemieux fan, of course. And from Pittsburgh, like everybody called him Mario. So I don't know whether to call this guy Mario or Mario. And every time I meet someone with that name, of course, my default is Mario. So sorry, Mario.
It's all right. I got to think about it sometimes. Hey there, viewers. Thank you for tuning into Super Mario. That's how I usually say it.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal.
Mario's good. It's a good name. It's a good name.
My aunt calls me Mario, and she's from Jersey, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. But in Spanish, it's Mario. So that's even more different from all of them. I've gotten used to it over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with everyone saying Super Mario.
Yeah.
And look.
I love it. It's a great name. You haven't got any copyright issues with your...
Actually, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
And so what's the deal with that? Like, what are you going to do?
Teespring took me down.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the logo?
Not the logo itself, the name Super Mario Diagnostics. So I had to just create a whole new listing.
Yeah.
And now when people look at my YouTube channel and it's like, it's only logos. It's only the front. No Super Mario. So.
Well, I think you're still super.
Thank you.
That's super corny. That's super corny. He is a great tech. I really enjoyed being here with you and like doing this together, and like we're in the same realm, and it's pretty awesome to sit here with you, honestly.
I agree, man. The feeling is mutual.
You are super from that standpoint. As corny as that sounded.
Hey, it's all good. It's high praise for me. I have made it no secret in my channel that it all started with Paul Danner for me, and we get to hang out. That's freaking awesome.
It is awesome for me too.
So, I kind of twisted his arm. I wanted him to do this segment. You guys know about this. Last year we did this something very similar. We just start asking him some random questions and see where it goes from there. I do have some questions set out, but it may lead to one thing or another. Who knows? Depends on where the conversation goes.
Before you start, I want to say it's been awesome to watch you grow. Seriously, like
Thanks.
Watch your channel grow, watch what you do, what you've learned. Like you've absolutely far surpassed me on the front lines in this field, and it's awesome to see like I don't want to say student of mine, but like it's pretty awesome to see what you've done with it, and like it's an honor like to watch.
And that's the idea with the whole channel. I really appreciate that. The idea is to get this out there to more people, and that's what Paul's been doing over the years, and it's awesome. I mean, if it wasn't for ScannerDanner, I would know nothing about diag and electrical and all that stuff, and that's what made me fall back in love with the automotive industry, because, you know, I've said it before in other videos, I almost left. I almost left the industry, and I was about to go, ready to go, and then they gave me my first diag, and what do I find? I find one of your videos.
So cool. That's so cool. And you know what? I know your viewers say the same thing about you, you know, that if it wasn't for you, then I wouldn't be where I am. And how cool is that? I know you hear those messages too. You read them in the comments. We both do all the time. And, you know, to all of you out there, like that is, for us, it's the equivalent, if not better, than fixing that one car that was a problem car that came from 3 different garages that no one could fix, and you watch it leave and running perfectly, and that feeling you get, you don't need a pat on the back from anybody else. It's one of the greatest feelings as an auto technician
Yeah.
to fix that broken car. And when we read comments like that, like what you just said about me, I know your viewers feel about you. Like, it's just amazing, and we both thank all of you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that feeling is there, isn't it? When you read that comment, you're like, dude, you changed my life. Man, like, it's even better than that car feeling.
Yeah, because I've been in the same shoes, and I told you the same thing, and not for nothing, but it can get addicting to help others, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I think everyone should make it a point, in some point in their careers, to help others, whether it's somebody who's working next to your bay, or whether it's somebody that gives you a call when they need help. You know, just help them out.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I think we really got to start doing more.
Yeah,
And
100%.
you started it, man.
That's
For
cool.
me, at least.
That's
you
really
started
cool.
it.
I appreciate it.
We got to keep that thing going.
Yeah. Well, look what you've done with it. So that's props to you, man.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
For sure.
We're gonna go ahead and ask him some questions. I think it'll all tie in together with this conversation we just had too. So, and thanks again for doing this, man.
Oh, of course.
Paul's a busy guy, you know.
That's okay.
And you know, I don't want to bore him with stuff
Nah.
either. So, we'll start with the very basics. What is that attracted you to the industry, the automotive industry?
Well, to keep it brief, I wasn't really attracted to it at first. I was a burnout in high school, and I just wanted to get out of high school, and so I took some auto shop courses, you know. And I was your typical dumb shop kid, you know. Like, at least all the guidance counselors and stuff at school, you know, I'm just the dumb kid. So, I mean, I just fell into the field. I just wanted to not be in classrooms anymore. I hated school, and I thought auto mechanics would be cool because I have a car and I need to fix it. So that, I mean,
Yeah.
that's really the
Necessity,
beginning.
huh?
That's really the beginning of my automotive career. Was that? Yeah.
And typically, I would like gloss over this next question, but I think it needs to be asked. What was that moment that sealed the deal for you? What was that moment that you said, you know what, this is not going to be a job anymore. This is going to be my career. I'm going to do this for the rest of my career. You know what?
Well, that's complex. I think it's two parts for me. Number one, the moment that I knew that this field had something for me was actually when I was still in school. So Rosedale Technical College is where I've been teaching, of course, for the past 20 years, but I was also a student there from 91 to 93, and I remember sitting in an electrical class and being like, this is freaking cool. Like, the electricity was like, it's still kind of, I think about that moment, it like gives me goosebumps, like thinking about like how cool electricity was. So that was the beginning of it, was in school, where I was like, I'm looking around the room and everyone else really didn't feel like that, you know? Like
whoa, how can
everyone
they not
else
see this?
I know, everybody else, like, that was the class that everybody hated. Oh, you don't want that class, you don't want that teacher, and his name's Dan Svitko. You know, he's just a hard teacher, and I, you know, I still had to take the class, and when I got in there, I just absolutely loved it. So that was the beginning of it, but I have to be honest with you, and I know that your viewers are gonna find this too, as well as mine, but it wasn't till like year 3 in the field that I felt like I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. I really had questions going into this the first 3 years because the money wasn't quite there. I'm like, I'm not really making a lot, and it's a trade, and you have to be willing to fight through those first 3 years. And I really felt like those first 3 years was like, it's just a job, you know, and I'm young, I'm 19, 20, 21, you know, and I didn't know until, you know, I made the move between year 3 and year 4, I doubled my pay. And, you know, then it was taken off from there. So it really is that. So you guys keep that in mind too. When you're starting in any career, any trade, it's worth it. Stick it out. Don't call off. Be diligent in your work. It will pay off. I think we can say that about any trade, can't we?
Yeah.
The money's not going to be there. It doesn't matter if you went to school or not.
Right.
The money's not going to be there right away, you know?
Yeah. Not the real money.
Not the real money.
Can't expect to earn what you would at 10 years at the first year. So
Yeah.
I was making like $300 a week.
Yeah.
And in my day, that was like almost minimum wage there.
Yeah.
If not minimum wage.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but I enjoyed it. So and I worked around it. I worked around the wages, you know, and it was less than what I was making with other stuff. I was in construction. I mean, I was in, you name it. But once you, if it's something that's in you and you love to do it, it doesn't really matter. It will matter eventually, obviously, but it should motivate you to improve your skills and earn more as a result.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's my take on it.
I agree 100%.
There is one question I'd like to ask you. What is the one thing that, whichever one you like to answer, either shop owners or technicians, what is that one thing that they could do tomorrow to have an immediate positive impact upon our industry?
So shop owner or technician?
Yeah, either or.
Man, that's
Or
such
both.
a complex question. The one thing to make a difference,
That they could like just start doing tomorrow.
I
Just
think-
like one thing.
I think as a technician, I just had an interview with Carm from Remarkable Results Radio, and I did a podcast with him, and I said this. It was the one thing that as a technician that you should be doing for yourself is to know why that car is fixed when you fixed it. Don't be happy with just pushing the car out. Not pushing it out like literally, but like pushing it out money-wise, like flat rate mentality. Let's get this car done. Let's fix the car. Don't be happy with just knowing that it's fixed and not knowing how you fixed it. Especially when it comes to diagnostic work. You put a part in it, it wasn't the right part. And the second part you put in it was the right call. If you don't take that extra 5 or 10 minutes to find out why you made that wrong call in the first place, you will continue to repeat that pattern over and over and over again for the rest of your career. But if you take that 10 minutes and you ask yourself why, and you understand what you did wrong, that is future payments to you. You will make money off of that problem for the next 20 years, and you will not get it wrong. I mean, that would be to the technician. You know, to the garage owner, I'm thinking of my brother. One thing to do to make a difference. We've been talking about this morning. I'm not really sure how to answer that one. Maybe you can pick that up from a garage owner standpoint. What's a garage owner going to do to make a difference for who? Is the question for the customer, or is it for the garage and his people? Do you know what I mean?
For me, it's all encompassing. It
Okay.
would be the industry.
Yeah.
So everyone would benefit. You know, it can't be just the shop owner. It can't be just the tech
Yeah.
or just the customer.
Okay, I have the answer. I've just thought about it. A place like this, a garage owner should be paying his techs to go to training, and whatever that may look like. Whether it's here at ASTE or being part of the ASOG, the Auto Shop Owners Group, to get around like-minded guys so you can network and you can help each other, support each other. And maybe the training's remote. Maybe training you garage owners is to watch some Super Mario Diagnostics or some ScannerDanner videos on your lunch break, and because you can't maybe afford to send your guys somewhere, do some type of training. Make a difference. It'll make a huge difference.
I love it. Now, just to play the devil's advocate,
Sure.
What would you say to those shop owners that are, thinking to themselves, why should I send a technician out to training? I mean, they're just going to get better and work for someone else. They're going to just work for my competition.
Yeah, I've heard that recently from some other people. I don't know where I heard that from.
I heard it from a shop owner.
I think it's the most ridiculous thought process ever. Are you kidding me? So wait, you're gonna hold your guy back. So let's play this out for a second. You're not gonna do training for your guy because you're worried he's gonna leave you. So that means then you're happy with the mediocre work he's giving you. That's the count. I mean, come on.
It seems very simple to us, but I've seen it, man. Some shop owners truly think that by improving the skills of their technicians gives them the ammo they need to move on.
I think if you play that out, that technician is going to be more efficient. and he's going to make you, the shop owner, more money, which means you're going to pay him more money because he's making you more. And then why would he leave you? If he leaves you, it's your fault.
If he leaves you, he probably was going to leave you anyway, right?
Right. And you treat your guys right, and things are going to be right for you. I mean, those are biblical principles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I can agree with that. I think that I would think that technicians who are hungry, why would they stay with someone who doesn't want to train them? You know?
yeah. So they can better themselves, better the shop, better the efficiency, and then everyone makes money off of that. Garage owner's happy, and he should be reciprocating that right back to the technician. And then that motivates the technician to keep going and keep training and, improve himself, because he knows his income's going to improve too. And it just, I don't understand that thought process in any way, shape, or form. It makes zero sense to me.
I agree. It's very short-sighted, to say the least. There are some people who say, like in forums, I mean, people outside of the industry even, and people who have left disgruntled ex-mechanics or shop owners who say that this industry is doomed. What would be your response to something like that? Like, they think that it's not going to last. Maybe it could be the EV coming in, and they think that technicians are not going to adapt. Who knows what their reason is, but they think that the automotive industry is doomed. What would be your response to a person that says that?
Unfortunately, we even have instructors who say that. If you're an instructor and you talk like that, you shouldn't be an instructor.
I completely agree.
Yes, there's a lot wrong with our field. In fact, maybe there's 9 bad stories for every 1 good one. This field isn't going anywhere. Doesn't matter if the cars are full EV, if the internal combustion engine dies, electricity is electricity. You and I both know that. Sitting in an EV class yesterday, I'm here as a student, not a trainer. I'm taking some EV classes. And I'm learning about an interlock circuit that has a 5-volt reference circuit on it and a pull-down resistor. And I'm like, oh, that looks familiar. Oh, that's on an EV circuit. Okay, so you know what I mean? Like, it's not changing. We're not going to lose our jobs, but like the field, it's not going anywhere. And if you do it right, this can be the most rewarding field. It really can. And it's been that way my entire career. Of course I've had bad experiences. Of course there are bad things. Of course, you guys hear that in some of my videos where I'm talking about we don't work for free and we should get paid for our time. And I'm speaking to everyone in that arena that, stop cutting yourself short, stop working for free. There's a lot that needs to be fixed. But I think with the right mindset and right attitude, we can fix it. We just need more than 1 out of 10.
We need a lot more people projecting their good stories.
Yes.
Instead of like all the complaints. Like the old adage says, you can do 10 things right. You only have to screw it up once and they'll never forget.
Yeah, for sure.
And unfortunately, that's a human trait. And I think we just need to start showing the more positive things. I mean, there's a lot of positivity in this industry.
Yeah.
I just don't think that people are doing a good enough job of sharing it. Why do they keep it to themselves?
I mean, isn't it, like you said, it's human nature. Don't the negatives travel further and better? I mean, isn't that our news?
It's true.
Like what's going to grab your attention is
shock and awe.
This shop ripped this guy off. Or is it this shop helped this person out with this car that nobody else could fix? Like which one's gonna travel? Which one's gonna travel and make the headlines?
Yeah, you're not gonna see that.
And we live in a clickbait world.
Yeah.
And so we fight that too.
Maybe we're gonna have to start clickbaiting people into thinking that they're gonna see videos of mechanic ripoffs, and it's a completely successful diag.
Yeah, for sure. We'll put a false thumbnail up and a false title and then see what happens.
This is what your mechanic doesn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
How it's done right.
Yeah, and then start the intro with like 30 seconds of that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're on a mission now.
Yeah. But then watch your analytics after that 30 seconds, just like high note.
Yeah, watch duration, 30 seconds, gone.
Just kidding. We really took care of this customer.
This is what could have been. I like the way you put that. Final question. We'll just wrap this up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who also claim that the internet has a huge part in the downfall of the automotive industry. Some claim that by, like with the forums or how many people share, people, DIYers or gearheads can start doing their own repairs and start combating labor prices, labor rates, and start kind of diluting the profitability of the industry. What would be your response to the people who say stuff like that?
I mean,
the internet.
Yeah. I mean, as a content creator, we both are on the same page. We both produce content that we know a DIYer can use to help him fix his car.
A dedicated DIYer at that.
A dedicated one. Yeah.
I was borderline DIYer when I saw your video. I was, doing oil changes and
That's
stuff.
right.
But really, I was DIYer at that time.
And so I honestly, to look at it from that perspective doesn't resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. Because just what you said, you were borderline DIYer and you became a master technician.
I mean,
by
I
some
can explain it.
but by some content that you saw
Yeah.
on the internet. Like, are you kidding me? We live in an information age. Everything is shared. If anything, my perspective is, look at how complex that job was. Oh, these guys do deserve to be paid their extremely expensive, quote, diagnostic time. They're not just parts changers. We're not just reading a code and changing a part. Look at the complex diagnosis here, And I think that uplifts the industry. As much as those that would say we're cheapening the industry because we're giving away this information, that just doesn't make sense to me. To me, if you feel like we're giving away information, we're cheapening the industry, I don't know. I just think that's a little bit too much. You're worried about yourself.
Agreed.
It feels like that. And I'm not saying everybody, because I know some great guys, some who are here, who have that perspective, who are mine and Mario's friends, who have that perspective. Yet they respect what we do, and I respect that opinion. I just don't come at it from that angle. And I think that we would do a disservice by not sharing. And what Mary and I do, we don't share silver bullets. Like, here's your silver bullet. We share a process through it. Yeah, we'll show you the fix, but here's my process. Here's why. Here's how to do this test. Here's how you're going to use it for yourself. How is that in any way, shape, or form cheapening our industry?
I'm glad you asked.
We're talking to that. We said 1 out of 10, right, that we need more of. Well, we're trying to reach the other 9.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
How else are we supposed to reach them?
Exactly. And are we cheapening the industry? No, we're providing maybe a pool of technicians with a good foundation who are going to come knock on your door, Mr. Garage Owner. You're going to want to hire that guy if he's following what we're doing, right?
I sure hope so.
I think so, and I've seen it. We're at this training event, and I'm hearing story after story after story. Brings tears to my eyes. Legit. That somehow what we're doing is cheapening the industry almost makes me a little bit angry inside to hear that.
That's why I ask it, because I've had that. I've had people tell me that, and I've asked this question to other people as well, and I've basically came up with a scenario which is a realistic one, and it's one that happened to me. So imagine you didn't do the ScannerDanner stuff. Imagine you didn't publish anything, right? And you're on flat rate, I'm on flat rate, and I'm the new guy. You've been there for 20, 30 years, and you get a timing job, and I don't know how to do a timing job, but you're busy, right? And let's face it, most shops, they'll hold on to that timing job until you're done, right? And then wait for you to do it. But what if I could just look up a YouTube video on how to do a timing job on that car? And then I say, hey, I can do it, and I do it. What's the incentive for you to like the internet at that point.
I get that.
How would you?
I mean, because that's money out of that guy's pocket. But I would say, again, in that scenario, there is more to this life than yourself. So there is some of that that's going to happen, but that's the information age we live in. That's no different than that technician before the internet that would grab a book and have the initiative to go through and read a step-by-step procedure and then do it because nobody's helping him. That technician needs to be supported. That technician needs to be given that job so he can learn. It's no different. And the guy that's complaining about the guy that just took his job should probably maybe not be so self-centered. That's my take on that. Like, it's not all about you. It's not all about me. It's not all about you. There's other people that need to live and eat and feed their families. And well, you want to make your 25 hours of flat rate time in your 8-hour shift today, and you're going to be mad because you lost 3 hours of that? Come on, man.
But it happened.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I say it because it happened to me.
Yeah.
I was the younger guy in that scenario.
Yeah. And the older guy was mad because you took his money. Well, I mean, he was busy and he couldn't do it. And there's a guy that can. And I'm sure the garage owner was happy. And I don't know. You're going to have that. And I understand.
There's so many dynamics.
Yeah. And I understand the older guy and being upset. But like, to say it's the internet's fault, it's just another avenue.
It's a different way of learning.
We're just in a different time. Like, okay, is it okay then if Mario would have learned that from a book?
Are you going to hide the book?
It wasn't. To me, that guy's blaming the internet because it's an easy thing to point the finger at.
Right, it's more digestible.
And what he should have been complaining about is this guy took my job, and I wanted it because I needed to make more money. Like, that's what it was. It wasn't even, in my opinion, it wasn't even the internet. It was, in your scenario, if you would have done the same thing out of a book and it wasn't the internet, he would have complained about the book or he would have complained about the job no matter what. It just happened to be the internet.
Yeah, I think I spoke about this to the ASOC guys, David Roman and Lucas Underwood.
Yeah.
And I like David's response. He said then that becomes a management problem. They're supposed to have something else lined up. Even if you take that timing job, they should still have something else lined up.
There you go. That is a great response too. And that's partly why we're here in the ASOG group, the Automotive Shop, Automotive Shop Owners Group. I've been talking to some great guys on there, and the guy he just mentioned, and two other guys today about my brother and his situation, and man, what a great organization that is. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be here with you, and seriously, it means a lot to me. You know?
And to me as well. Thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks to the ASTE team and the ASOG guys as well. All of them, not just not just David and Lucas. You guys are awesome too. But there's a bigger team at play here, and I want to thank all of you guys for putting this on and keeping this going, and making this happen.
Absolutely, and to be here and mutually support each other is what it's about, and training is what it's about, and having shop owners get together and make their own businesses run more efficiently and smoothly, and all of that. Like, we all need this type of thing. We need each other. We need support. It's not about just us to help someone else is what it's about. And we're getting help as we sit in classes. Other people are offering help as we get to communicate with them. And I'm looking forward to hearing all the comments on this video. I think this was excellent. This was a great idea. I'm only jealous that I didn't think of doing the same thing. I left the cameras at home and Caleb's at home.
Next time we'll bring Caleb.
Yeah, I'm not doing one, but I will definitely share this on my channel, and I'll be reading all the comments too. So
awesome.
appreciate you doing this.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you so much.